I can't hear my mom as well, I think. I don't want to expect the worst. Just help her first, please.
A teen makes a panicked call to 911 asking first responders to save him and his mother as a major early morning fire in Summerville trapped several people inside their apartments.
Though some were able to escape by dramatic means, they were not one of the lucky ones. Investigative reporter Blair Sable tells us why they couldn't escape and what preventative measures were missing from the complex that might have saved their lives.
An empty field of grass is all that's left after a fire ripped through a Summerville apartment complex 8 months ago.
It's getting really bad in here.
At this exact spot, flames and heavy smoke in the breezeway trapped several people inside.
I don't know if they can step on it, but I'm running out of air.
Kimberly Hill lived with her family in Building B of the Summerville Station Apartments, which caught fire just before 3 a.m. on September 29th, 2022. It's an image she's tried hard to forget, but it's been burned into her memory.
The entire apartments were just engulfed, and the flames were spiraling up into the air because that was the day before the hurricane came.
They were able to get out in time before the fire overwhelmed their building, making sure to alert their neighbors on the way out. A neighbor has even credited Hill's daughter, only age 11, with saving his life after she banged on his door moments before smoke filled his apartment.
We're about to lose this entire thing.
Law enforcement reports detail the desperate attempts of others to escape the flames. Several people are seen jumping from a second-story balcony, and another family of 4 screaming for help were able to get out of their first-floor apartment through their window.
We saw 3 people run out that were on fire.
Benjamin Lax, the 911 caller who said he was running out of air, was able to jump from his window with moments to spare as well.
I'm out of the building.
But a mother and her son weren't so fortunate.
Can you go to the balcony?
I can't.
15-year-old Dhruv Choksi and his mother, Frenny Hazare, lived in apartment B16 in the same building as Hill. In a panicked 911 call, the teen tells the operator there's no way out.
You can't get to the balcony?
I can't open my window. The room. Too much smoke in here, please.
The teen's final moments are spent pleading for first responders to save his mother.
I can't hear my mom as well, I think. I don't want to expect the worst. Just help her first, please.
The line soon goes quiet, and hours later, their bodies are discovered buried under the fire debris. Dhruv's phone still in his hands.
I can't see him. That's my baby.
Dhruv's necklace of the North Star, for which he's named after in the family's native language, helped identify his body. Vatsal Choksi, his father, now keeps it close, always.
He was my life, actually. Everybody misses him in home. You know, there's not a single day. It's just, it's tough for everybody right now.
Though separated from Hazare, Vatsal says they remained close to help raise Dhruv. He was a straight A student at Ashley Ridge High School and planned to pursue computer engineering like his brother in college. The pair lived at the apartments at 1660 Old Trolley Road in part so Dhruv could attend that school. Devin Choksi, Hazare's older son, remembers her as having a rare positive outlook on life.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody so positive about life. One of her favorite phrases was never break a connection.
In 2021, the apartments passed their annual inspection from Summerville Fire and Rescue with no notes. The year prior, the apartments changed owners after they were purchased for more than $25 million. Since then, Hill says she began noticing things falling through the cracks. Hill had lived there for 5 years and moved to a new, supposedly fully renovated apartment within the complex after the change.
Everything had been painted over. Literally everything. Every nut, every nail, everything. The windows, we asked the maintenance to come out and fix it, and again, they marked it as being complete, but they never came out. So my husband and I finally got the window open and sanded it down as much as we possibly could.
State law requires that buildings built after 1917 have at least 2 means of egress or exit points, including a fire escape, meaning that Dhruv and his mother should have been able to open their windows. Hill also noticed something that struck her as odd in the middle of the chaos that night.
From what you remember, there were no fire alarms going off in your building at least?
None in our building.
Lack says he was awoken by his living room fire alarm, but there wasn't one in his bedroom. The final investigative report notes that fire alarms were present, but their operation remains undetermined. The apartments were built in the 1970s, before many modern-day regulations were in place for fire alarms and automatic sprinklers that are credited with saving lives. According to state code, fire alarms were not required in every bedroom until 1988, and sprinklers weren't required in multifamily unit dwellings until 2005. Now, this all came to light months prior to the Summerville Station apartment fire, when a blaze at the Palms Apartments in Charleston displaced more than 100 residents. That complex had been built in the mid-1960s. Charleston Fire Chief Mike Gelazada explained that sprinklers might have mitigated the effects of the fire, but
this building would not have been brought up to today's code unless there was substantial renovation that was done.
In South Carolina, that goes for all buildings built before code established these requirements, including the Summerville Station apartments.
It just makes me mad.
So me and my wife take turns. Either she kind of holds me, otherwise I hold her. And we miss him.
The cause and origin of the fire remains unknown, but the painful scars left in its wake are anything but. For Live 5 Investigates, I'm Blair Sable.
Now, that property is owned by the Summerville Apartments LLC and PAC and listed under the care of the Beach Company.
A representative of the company told us they cannot engage in speculation about that incident.
We have also reached out to property management, the Texas-based Lincoln Property Company, for comment, but have not heard back.